Hey, what is going on, everybody out there in YouTube lands? Revolution Hell Cowboy here, back with another video. That's right, like I have mentioned in my previous two videos, I am trying my best to put up as many as I can, maybe at least once a day, or once every 2 days. So hey, this is probably the first time in a while I've been probably this consistent of putting a video up. And if you missed my previous two vlogs, either go back, look at my video feed, or I'll put up some annotations. Probably some annotations over my head, or here. Hell, you probably click on my face. Just don't click too hard. I don't want my nose to get broken. No. But in all seriousness, anyways, another vlog for you today. And today's subject, I'm going to talk about Power Rangers. Because I talked about Ninja Turtles in the last video, and I talked about something WWE related, which, CM Punk. So those are the last two videos. So, this is going to be all Power Rangers talk, and actually it's three, four, I don't know how many subjects it's going to be. It's going to be mostly relating to the 20th anniversary of Power Rangers, and some fan films, and just what's coming up in general for the Power Rangers franchise. And I don't know. I love Power Rangers, even though I didn't start loving Power Rangers again until several years ago when they did the Mighty Morphin the rebroadcast on ABC Kids before Disney decided to, pretty much say they were done, and then Saban bought back the franchise, which at the time looked like a good idea, but now it's like, I don't know. It's not the same Saban's Power Rangers that we had back in the 90s and early 2000s before the Disney, buyout of the franchise. And I don't know. It's just not looking good right now. I mean, I'll gotta admit it, Samurai was a good season, but the current two seasons of MegaForce and Super MegaForce, well, I guess MegaForce was the last season, it's not current at the moment, but Super MegaForce, they do tie in together, not looking so good. At the moment, Power Rangers Super MegaForce is on break. It should be back in sometime in September, and hopefully this is when the season should be getting good, because we're getting towards the end. And I don't know. I'm going to get to that in a moment. First thing I want to address are the upcoming fan films, which are not owned by Saban, have nothing to do with Saban, and well, I don't think Saban's too happy about them. There's like 3 different fan films. One of them is going to be called Zordon of Eltar, which, let's just say this is before Power Rangers. It's the story of, Zordon and Rita Repulsa, and, the creation of the Power Coins, and what led up to the events of Power Rangers. So that one looks interesting, and I know there's been pictures of the Dragon Coin and the White Tiger Coin, so I guess we could say those coins were made long before the main 5 coins of, the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, Transformers, Mastodon, Pterodactyl, Triceratops, Saber Tiger. So yeah, that'll be interesting. And another fan film, this one's going to be very interesting. It's called MMPR, which, think of this as like futuristic Power Rangers. After the original Mighty Morphin, how there's after they've all defeated Rita and Zed, and, well, that was in Power Rangers in Space, but still, it's after those events, and obviously Lord Zed has returned, and there's a new team of Power Rangers. And what makes it even kind of weirder, but I guess it's kind of cool in a way, the leader is going to be a female, and she'll be a Blue Ranger. She'll wear the same suit that, Billy wore in Mighty Morphin. Obviously, it'll be a little different. Otherwise, there'll be a male Red Ranger, male Black Ranger, Pink and Yellow Ranger, both still females, so for once you'll have more females than males. Now, what the people that made that film were going to try to do was get Jason David Frank to jump on board and either be, the Green Ranger or the White Ranger, I guess, depending on which one they wanted to go with. Well, I don't think that's ever going to happen. Jason David Frank is not a fan of 80s fan films, and, I mean, it's already bad enough that Saban wants nothing to do with him, but now he wants something to do. I mean, come on, really, JDF? I'll tell you one thing, I bet you if they asked Austin St. John to be in one of these videos, he'd probably jump on it. Or Walter Emmanuel Jones, or David Yost. Some of them are outspoken against Saban, so I don't know. Alright, so cover the first 2 fan films. The last one is kind of a reimagining of Mighty Morphin. It's called Teenagers with Attitude. And this one, basically, same 5 Rangers. Jason, Zach, Treaty, Kimberly, Billy. But they are different characters. Like, for example, Jason and Zach, they have their, races changed. This time, Jason's an African American, and Zach's Caucasian, so that's interesting. And then Kimberly and Billy both still, who they are, Caucasian, male and female, and only their personalities change. You know how Billy's the nerd, Kimberly's the more athletic gymnast. Well, it looks like Billy's the athlete and Kimberly's the nerd. And as for Trini, from what I've seen in the trailer, she looks like she was Caucasian or Hispanic. I don't remember. Instead of being an Asian like the original Trini, rest in peace, Tui Trang. But anyways, it'll be interesting to see what they do with that. And it looks like it's going to be made by the same people making the Zordon of Eltar fan film, because they show the Rita from that film and the Teenager's Attitude film, at least from what I've seen in trailers, so it'll be interesting. Now, obviously, like I said, Saban wants something to do with it. And I think the announcement Saban made about teaming up with Lionsgate to make a new Power Rangers movie might be eager to, pardon the pun, steal the thunder, if you know what I mean, from the fan films. Or maybe Saban feels that, hey, Power Rangers has been around for 20 plus years, and it's been almost 20 years since the last major film. Now, keep in mind, yes, there was a film 17 years ago, the Turbo movie, but that one wasn't a major release and was more of a continuation of the series, while the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie that came out in 1995, was more of a, more worldwide and obviously was, not in canon with the series because of Ivan Ooze, the Ninja Zords, and everything else. So yeah, that'll be interesting. Now I'm going to talk about the Power Rangers series in general with Megaforce and Super Megaforce, which I'm not going to get too much into reviewing the episodes, characters. I'm just going to say so far the series has been a little bit of a letdown. I mean, I'm not going to nitpick. It's been enjoyable, don't get me wrong. I know there's people that have said they don't like characters. I mean, I don't mind Troy. I know there's one guy here on YouTube, I know Mr. Weenie, I'm a fan of his, said he's not a big fan of Troy as a leader, which that's fine. I don't blame you, I don't know, he seems like an okay leader. Yeah, he's not on par with leaders of the past, like Jason or Tommy, TJ, let's see, who else was a good leader? There was, Jack from SPD, or, let's see, Carter from Lightspeed Rescue. You had Wes, who took over technically from, what was her name? Was it Jen from the Pink Time Force Ranger? And so on and so forth. There were so many good leaders in the past, so Troy may not be holding up to that. I think even Jaden was kind of a better leader than Troy, but, still, I mean, Megaforce has been alright. I'm going to say that Samurai was better, even though people kind of bashed Samurai because Samurai was confusing. Were they in Japan? Were they in America? And how they based all the storylines from Samurai, from the Samurai Senkanger Sentai. But it's a little bit better because obviously when it comes to Megaforce, they couldn't use the Angel theme from Go Sager. Just like they're not using the Pirate theme from Go Kaiger, which Megaforce was alright, but Super Megaforce is just a train wreck. For one thing, the first episode, when Jake asks, okay, I'm the, he says, he's the Black Ranger, but, why is he using green? And then, Gosei goes, well, there was an answer for that, and then, obviously they had to go in the battle, because he couldn't explain, because, well, there is no explanation, other than the fact that Saban doesn't want to acknowledge that they're pirates. And the fact that we didn't get a new team or anything, which that's what bugs me, that all these Super Megaforce suits are just power-ups. It's not even a separate costume. Because they morph into their Megaforce costumes first. And then, when they can't use the Megaforce costumes, just morph into the Super Megaforce costumes. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not going to nitpick it too much because I haven't had a problem with it. I've enjoyed it so far. I just wish they could have explained the suits better. Like, maybe destroyed the, Megaforce suits and then they had to switch over to the Super Megaforce. It's kind of like what they did from Zeo to Turbo, if you saw the Turbo movie and wonder why, wait, they had the Zeo powers, but apparently they weren't powerful enough to fight Divatox, so they had to switch to Turbo powers. But at least the Turbo Rangers actually gave up their powers. Like, for one thing, Rocky didn't get the Turbo powers, he was replaced by Justin, and then Tommy, Adam, and Kat, and Tanya, sorry, I almost forgot, eventually got replaced by TJ and Carlos and Cassie and Ashley, so at least, there was a suit, like a Rangers change, but so far it doesn't look like that's going to happen with Super Megaforce. I mean, yeah, they introduced us to Orion, and we don't know where Robo Knight is. I guess we'll find out in the super legendary battle coming up, at the end of the season. Which, that's another thing I want to address. Is I don't know. There was hype building up to it, but I thought it was going to be at the beginning of the season, not at the end. As I don't know, because we've already kind of been spoiled when it comes to that, so I kind of feel like, will it be a big deal? I mean, for a 20th anniversary season that we had last year, I don't think there's been much celebration for 20 years. I guarantee you, if today Fox Kids were still around and had the Power Rangers franchise, they would have made a much bigger deal. There would have been more build-up. Yeah, granted, we're in the age of the internet, so stuff like this gets spoiled. 20 years ago, this would have been awesome. I'd be like, oh my god, this is so cool. All the Power Rangers fight together. Nowadays, it's like, it's cool, but obviously it's been spoiled. Plus, keep in mind, this is just our version, since the Super Sentai anniversary season of Gokaiger had their battle, which had a lot more Rangers, which, yeah, by the way, we've seen a couple of the or maybe 4 or 5 of those Rangers that we never got to have here in the U.S., and they were unexplained, but Saban just being lazy. We'll have to see what goes on the rest of the season. If we'll see more suits that we can't explain, other than the fact if you've seen them in the Super Sentais. And I also hear a lot of complaints from people saying, well, how come every actor couldn't be cast? Besides the ones who are deceased, obviously, like the original Yellow Ranger from Mighty Morphin and the White Mystic Force Ranger. They also can't appear in the seasons, in the series because they're deceased. But that's like, we only get to cast a few of the past Rangers to have speaking roles, like Tommy and TJ, Cassie, Wes Carter, and then couldn't have any Disney Rangers. And then when it comes to recent seasons, just Jada made an appearance. We see Mike and Emily, but this is kind of the same problem that was in the Sentai version of the battle. Now, I haven't watched it, but from what I found out, that only a few of the Sentai Rangers got speaking roles, and so obviously they couldn't cast every Sentai Ranger because, keep in mind, this was 35 plus seasons of Sentais compared to 20 plus seasons of Power Rangers, so yeah. And plus, there's a few Sentai Rangers who were deceased as well. Like their original Yellow Ranger from the first season of Super Sentai, I know he's deceased, and there might be a few others. But still, I look forward to it. Hey, we get to see Tommy back in the show as the Green Ranger, so that'll be pretty cool. There'll probably be no explanation how he got his powers back, but hey, whatever. I'm not going to complain. Kids aren't going to. Obviously it's the older fans that'll probably nitpick it, but you know what? I still look forward to it. But when it comes to Power Rangers in whole, I don't know if I'm going to watch next year. The next season is the Dino Charge, which is based off the last Super Sentai season in Japan, the Kuri Ranger. I'm sorry if I can't pronounce it right because of a K. It's similar to Jew Ranger, which we got Mighty Morphin from. But yeah, that'll be interesting. But since they skipped Go Busters, and there was an April Fool's joke that Vortex, which by the way won't be around this fall, it's getting replaced by some adult-friendly, can't explain, it's called Lynn Adventures, but anyways, there was even a rumor that was going to happen, but well, yeah, that's not going to happen anyway because it was an April Fool's joke. So, obviously no Go Busters, but apparently they're going to adapt Go Busters into, Dino Charge like they were doing with MegaForce and Super MegaForce, which that just doesn't make any sense. Those are two way different seasons. Personally, I would like to see Go Busters be similar to, like, say, VR Troopers or Big Bad Beetleborgs, be a separate season from Power Rangers. Or at least just, I don't know, bring it out sooner or later. I don't know. Maybe do what they did with Power Rangers and Alien Rangers, how those were two different seasons, the Drew Ranger suits, and then use the Kaka Ranger, that doesn't sound right. Suits for the aliens. I don't know what they can do with Go Busters, other than the fact that it's not going to be its own season. And as for the current Super Sentai season in Japan, with them with trains and their suits, I'm not going to get into Super Sentai talk. I just know that's going to be interesting when that becomes a Power Ranger season, 2 years from now. As I guess we're going to be pretty much caught up since we're going to be skipping Go Busters like I just mentioned, but obviously they'll drag Dino Charge off for 2 years, they'll push it back. I don't know. I would have liked to see what Disney would have done with Power Rangers if they would have kept it past RPM instead of rebroadcasting Mighty Morphin. I mean, the good thing about that is I got a chance to get a Megazord that I never had as a kid, but when they put out the new toys, but other than that, I don't know. Anyways, that's what I think about Power Rangers. I still love it. I mean, I loved it more as a kid. Heck, I've even started loving seasons I was never big on, like Time Force. I love Dino Thunder because of Jason Frank being back as Tommy, and SPD was good, and there's lots of other good seasons that are much more enjoyable than MegaForce that if I have a chance to get my DVD, I'll probably will. Especially when it comes to Mighty Morphin, because, you know, that's what I grew up with, and it will be interesting to see what Saban does if they do make a new Mighty Morphin movie, or just a Power Rangers movie in general. But for now, I guess we'll have to see what happens with the fan films and what happens with the, you know, the rest of Super MegaForce, and just what happens in general. Anyways, those are my opinions. If you're a Power Rangers fan, I want to hear your opinions, or if you like Super Sentai, you know, let me know about the fan films, let me know what you think about the current season of Power Rangers with the Legendary Battle, and just give me your Power Rangers thoughts in general, your favorite memories, what got you into Power Rangers, and so on and so forth. Anyways, as always, I am Revolutionary Cowboy, rock on, and in the words of Zordon, let the power protect you. Oh, hear about this. It's morphin' time! Alright, that's all for now. As always, rock on.